you achieve them, right? Then you have the credit system and why you should care. There is something we know as a credit system in the developed world. For UK, why should you care about it? Then I'm going to be talking about what I refer to as the marathons, things that are marathon in perspective, in view, that you have to consider them as a marathon so that you are not in a haste and you are not under unnecessary pressure. And we'll round up with the presentation. In short, if you want to connect with me, you can use my Linktree channel, which is https /linktree/Larry Lewis. And that will take you to so many things that God has helped me to do, publish book, media, so many things that will be of use for us there. And just in case you're unable to connect later, but just pick this. Now, let's start. What do we mean by navigating? I usually like to start things from the first principles. So when you say navigating comes from the Latin word that says navis, which is a ship. So it talks about how a ship moves from one place to the other. In the context of this webinar, right, navigating refers to the process of effectively managing and adapting to the various aspects of this country that has 4 nations in it. Effectively managing and adapting, because there is a way that things is done here. They say that when you get to Rome, understand how the Romans behave and quickly adjust. Forget about wherever you're coming from and readjust to the system quickly and understand how it works. So this simply implies that we want to have an understanding of how to integrate into the unique culture that you have in this UK system. You want to find a way, depending on the path that you use to enter this place. I was speaking to somebody earlier today, and I said that there are 4 categories of people that can come to the UK. The first one is a married couple who came in via the work path or sponsorship path, or what we call the skilled worker path, right, to the United Kingdom. The second one is somebody who is not married but single, who also came in through that path. The third category is a couple who one of them came in via the study route. So it may be that maybe the husband or the wife came in through study. The fourth category is somebody who is single and came in through study path. Now, the interesting thing is that these 4 categories of people will have 4 different realities. So it is important that we know how we came in and what will work for us based on how we came in. So it implies that you need to gain knowledge, skills, and the strategies that are necessary, right, to successfully overcome the challenges that are peculiar to these 4 categories of people, yeah, and use that to make informed decision, right, on how you are going to navigate this terrain. So that's what I'll be trying to help us to understand in this presentation, okay? So let's look at this thing here. I have a couple of questions for us. And as we're looking at this thing, I want us to look at the question very well. Number 1, first things first. Now that you are in the United Kingdom, why are you here? Some people don't take time to answer that question. Did you come to the United Kingdom, like they say in Nigeria, you jackpot to United Kingdom, or you came because you want to come and find job, you want to come and find green pastures, right? Or you feel like relocating, yeah? Or is it because of health reasons? There are some people who have health challenges and they feel like the best place to be is a place where you have better health care. Or you relocated because of your family, that you came because you wanted a better life for your family. Or you moved because others were moving. Now, depending on the reason why you moved, will determine your reality in this system. It's very funny, but that is just the truth. The second question I want to ask us this night is, what is your goal? Now that you have moved, what is your goal? Do you have the goal? Is it crystal clear like snow? Is it well mapped out? That means you have documented it, right? You have some timeline or milestone that will be telling you that, okay, for example, if you're traveling to London by train and you leave from where I am, I'm in Dundee, right? And you leave from Dundee to London. If you leave by train, you first of all get to Edinburgh. From Edinburgh, you will get to somewhere between Newcastle and yeah, somewhere I think it will stop at Berwick upon Tweed. From Berwick upon Tweed, it will get to Newcastle. From Newcastle, it will get to Darlington. From Darlington, it will get to maybe Peterborough or all other cities before it now gets down to London. That means there are milestones that are telling you that you are on your path to getting to your destination. So are you just tagging along or you are just moving? Is this goal divinely backed? That means God is backing you on this goal. The next question I want to ask us is, what will support your goals in this system? Do you have an idea of what will help you, right? What is in the UK system that will support these goals? Do you know how to connect with the provisions in this system to help you get these goals achieved? These are questions that we need to sit down and ask ourselves sincerely. And if you don't have an idea, then I believe that by the time we're finishing this presentation this evening, you'll have some things to take home. The next question I want to ask us is, do you have the strategy, right? Strategy talks about the framework or the methodology or the approach that you are going to use to achieve something. So possibly it has worked somewhere or it has worked for somebody, right? And you now need to now embrace that and adapt it to your own case. So do you have a strategy to achieve those goals? Is there a time frame to the achievement of these goals? How do you intend to achieve these goals? Are you just living each day without a definite plan in place? Are you just marking time? Are you just counting shifts? Are you taking time to step out of the noise that you have in this system? Like I usually tell some people, this system is like washing machine. Washing machine keeps rolling like this. Hmm? Night shift, afternoon shift, night shift, morning shift, night shift, go like that, like washing machine. If you're not careful and you don't step out, 5 years will come and you will see that the reason why you came is already lost in the wind. So that's why you need to find out what's the strategy you're going to do. So what support systems are here for you, right? Can you identify the support systems to make your life and journey much easier, right? They say that if the wheel has been made, there is no need to reinvent the wheel. Just add some gold plating or some silver. So it will become gold plated wheels or silver plated or bling bling wheels. The wheel has been made. Find out, is the wheel already there? So latch on it and move. So those are the first things first. These are ponderables that we need to do, right? To ask ourselves as we are navigating this journey. Now, to help us, building on that initial slide, this is what I want us to do now. Quickly, it will not take us more than maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes. I want us to go to this link, https://wheeloflife.n Oscar Oscar Mike India India.com, right? And go there. Now, this Wheel of Life I'm a certified life coach, so there are some things that we also use to help people to bring things into proper perspective. You know, there is something they call life snapshot. We usually like to do snapshots. When somebody sends a picture, you come and take snapshot. But do you understand that you can actually find out your own snapshot? Now, if you quickly go to this place now, we'll check some of the things that are here. It's just about 8 things, 8 areas of our life, right? Quickly go there, 1 minute, answer the questions. It's a scale of 1 to 8 or 9 or 10 or something like that, right? Please check those things and quickly, because we'll be using it as we navigate this presentation this evening. Are we all there? If we are there, please can we say yes in the if anybody just say yes for me so I know that yes, you have identified it. It talks about health, it talks about career, your love life, spirituality, family, money or finance, fun and friends. Quickly do that and we will go on. Now, once you've done that, you are going to get a final result. The final result will tell you. Now, make sure you answer those things sincerely, because if somebody says that my bank account is -2, it's better you know that your bank account is -2, so you will know what you need to do to build it up back than deceive yourself, right? That's what they call financial snapshot. So in this case, you're going to have a life snapshot, your own personal life shot that will tell you where you are with your health, where you are with your career, love life, spirituality, family, money, fun, and friends. Okay? Now, we are going somewhere. I like building up things. Now, these are the things that you're going to see. Okay? Now, I want to be a bit interactive for just about 2 minutes. Just about 2 minutes, okay? Now, before I jump, where is my chat box? For the people that are on this call, if you have done that, if you have gone through that wheel of life, how many of you are scared with the result you got? Be sincere, just say, I am scared or I'm afraid. There's nothing bad in knowing. If you are happy, say yes. If you are not happy, say no in the chat box with what you have seen. Let's be sincere. I'm waiting. If you're happy with what you saw, put yes in the chat box. If you are not happy, say no. We are waiting. Quickly, quickly, quickly. I have a lot of things that I want to share with us today. Yes, no. Put yes in the chat box if you are happy with what you saw when you finish. Say yes. If you are not happy with what you saw, say no. I want us to be active. We have about 33 people on this call. Let's respond quickly, quickly, quickly. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's go. Do we have people on this call? I want active participants. Okay.
Yes,
This is the link.
I think there is a yes and there is a no already. There are two no's.
Okay. Okay. I can see no. All right. Any other person that is happy or not happy with what they are seeing? Okay, no. It's good to be sincere. Now, you know why I asked us to do this thing? Most times we run through our journey in life without taking time to take stock. The reason why we are bringing this webinar to us today is for us to take action by the time we leave with the information that we get. Okay? So that snapshot shows you where you are. Now, let's now move forward. Okay? It's going to be along these lines, whether it's going to be your health, Maybe you are not happy with the health situation that you are in. Maybe you are not happy with your finances, or you are not happy with the circle of friends that you have. What do you need to do? You are not happy with your career level. What do you need to do? Right? There's nothing bad in having red. You can move from red to good, okay? There's nothing bad, but it's good to know. Because if you don't know, even if you are going to pray, you will be praying amiss. You will not pray well. But if you know that this is where you have a deficiency, you can know where to work on, right? If it's family, if it's spiritual, if it's love, if it's career, you know what to do. Okay, that's why I asked her to do that thing. Now, I'm not going to, bore us, right, with this part of UK. Just a moment, please. There is a part of UK which information which I don't want to bore us with. Things like you want to, if you just came in, you should register with council, register with healthcare, maybe a GP around you, or register with electoral register. Have a bank. I don't want to bore us with that one. I want us to be very practical, because if I ask anybody that have done this thing, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure the top priority will be money one, money two, money three, right? Then it will now be followed by maybe family. But some people will say that, okay, career, money, family. That is what I feel will be the case. So which is the reason why I'm jumping to this very first one. Okay, I'm jumping to this very first one, which is the credit system in the United Kingdom. Now, I want us to pay very careful attention to what we have here this moment. I will delve into this one briefly and the implications of this for many things. Now, whether you like it or not, right, the developed world, whether you're in the UK, US, Canada, Europe, Asia, anywhere that is developed, the credit system is what runs the financial system in every developed world. So it is important that you understand what it means and how you can leverage on it for your own benefit. Now, you did that exercise and you saw something that you're not happy with. I'm sure 9 out of 10 of the people will be the financial side. This is why you need to understand this thing. You see, in this system, right? If you see, there are bodies called, or institutions called Experian, TransUnion. There are about 4 of them. Okay, they come together to run what we call the credit system in the United Kingdom. Now, the credit system is what measures your credit worthiness of accessing credit facility in the system. It measures your credit worthiness of accessing credit facility in the system. Now, how does this work? It is tied to how long you have been in the country. It is tied to your registration address, I mean, where you are registered or living, your address. It is tied to your first high street bank. Now, it's not the Monzos or the Monies or the Tide banks of this world. It is tied to the high street, the Barclays, the HSBCs, the RBS, and all Lloyds, all of them is tied to that. It is tied to the address that is registered with the council. So if you are not registered with an address with the council, maybe you have an exemption as a student, or you have a council tax as a worker, and if you don't have an high street bank that is tied to that address, then you are doing yourself a disservice. And I'll break it down on why you need to know how this thing works and how you can use it. Now, in this system, as a migrant, I mentioned there are 4 categories of people that come into the UK. Somebody who comes as a married person who is working, somebody who comes as a married person who is studying, somebody who comes as a single person working or single person studying. In each of these four, you have different scenarios. The person who is working, right, who started working and is in this system, right, can have all these almost immediately. Um, Council tax, high street bank, all those things immediately. However, the earlier you understand that you need to start building your credit score, the better for you. And how do you build it? If you have just come into the system, don't try to get credit card until you have done minimum of 6 months registered to the council address that you are living in, the house that you're living in that is registered. So let's say, for example, you came in this country in January and council or electoral register registered you in February. The earliest time you should apply for credit card should be around end of July. That 6-month cycle will have been complete. The system will have understood that this person has been living in this place for 6 months and they have been getting bills and all those things in that place. Now, most of them will first of all give you something very low, right? Depending on whether you are married or single. Now, if you are married, right, there may be a lot of outflow coming from your account. So your spouse, or depending on how you run your family, if you are the type that is taking most of the things out of your account, most likely your credit card or facility that they will give you will be very low, maybe around 200, 250, or 400 or 300, depending on the provider. Now, if you are the type that is single, right, and you have been able to tick the box of staying in the country for 6 months, and your outflow is not very high, it's likely that they will give you 500 initially. Now, follow me on this thing. When you first of all start, you are likely going to be in the fear cycle. That means around 721 to 880. Now, there is a rule about cards. I tell people, your credit card is not for frivolities. It's not for frivolous spending, right? It is for you to build a mindset in the system. What is a mindset? You are telling the system that you are somebody that can be trusted with that money. Even if you spend, you pay back. So what happens is that if you are earning maybe 1,500 pounds, 2,000 pounds, or 500, depending on whatever you are earning, and you want to buy something, right? Let's say you want to buy something worth about 250 pounds or 300 pounds. What you should do is this. Don't spend the money in your current account to buy that thing. Use the card to buy it. And now use the money in your account to pay it back. Let me say that again. Don't use your money in your account to buy that thing. Use the money in your credit card to buy it and use the money in your account to pay it back. You have the money. It's not as if you go and use credit card on the money you don't have. That is foolishness, right? Some people will say that, oh, they are helpless, but you are actually shooting yourself in the leg by doing that. And there is another rule of credit card. Only spend 30% of the value they gave you. So if they gave you 600 pounds, it means that any time T that you are spending, don't spend more than 200. Spend the 200 and return it. Now, every time you do that, what you are telling the system is that I can be trusted with this and I'm paying it back. Now, that is first category of credit facility. The next category of credit facility, which I will encourage anyone to explore, is get the credit facility of retail stores. Now, I'll explain why this one is very important. Stores like Argos, store like Currys. In fact, I will recommend Currys for anybody on this call if you're in the United Kingdom. Currys will not give you a credit card, but they will give you a credit facility. Usually, if you have done about 6 months or 1 year in the system, right, go for Currys. How will Currys pay you? Currys will give you maybe 1,000, 1,500 the first time that you're going to get it. Currys allows you to spread the cost of anything you want to get over 6 months, over 9 months, over 1 year without interest. That is why the facility of a place like Currys or Argos is better than the credit card, because the credit card goes through a cycle of 30 days. And within that 30 days, they want you to pay the money after that, within that 30 days. Whereas the credit facility that you get from a place like Argos or Corys, let's say, for example, it's still the same rule that applies to them. You have the £500, or you can afford the £500 over a period of time. So you get that, and you pick whatever you want to buy. Let's say you're buying a laptop for £600 or £700, right? For laptop, they can allow you to pay over 12 months. So that's 750. Rather than use a credit card to go and spend 750, and you don't have 750 to pay back within 30 days, Corys allows you to spread that 750 over 6 to 12 months. So what that implies is that you'll be paying the money back. And as you are doing that, you are telling the system that you are creditworthy. Now, this is where the game changes. You see, there is a platform called Credit Karma. If you are on this call, go and search for Credit Karma on your Apple or Play Store. Credit Karma has a logo of CK in white with a green background. What Credit Karma does for you is that it gives you your credit score every week. Every 7-day cycle, it will always give you a credit score. Now, why do I recommend that you do this? There is a trick to increasing your credit facility. Anytime you see that you have been consistent in paying and Credit Karma tells you that you have moved to good or excellent, you have moved from good to excellent, quickly go to all your credit providers and ask them for an increase in limit. That is how you will be increasing the value of credit that you have in the system. And what does that do for you? I'm going to be showing us later in the next slide, which is the marathons. You are not increasing credit facility because you want to spend on frivolities. You are only doing that so that your cumulative credit available to you, right, will be big. So the day you now decide that you want to go to the bank to access real money, the money of the 20,000, 25,000, or 50,000 of this world, you will have built your profile to that level. That is why I call the next slide marathon. Living or navigating the UK is a marathon. Don't let anybody give you unnecessary chill or unnecessary pressure, right? If you see somebody saying that they are using one big ride here, or they bought a house here, or done this one, or do this, congratulate them, but mind your business. Your business is from the first slide that I started with. Why are you here? If you don't define it very well, you will follow those who are in the washing machine. They'll be going like this. Huh? And you will not know what is happening. Now, we're talking about a process, right? If you look at this place, oh, sorry. One moment. It still went off. Okay. Yeah. So if you look at these marathons that I put here, in the middle, everybody is always looking at this middle. Mortgage, 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 mortgage. Calm down. If you are here, right, please go to your Play Store or Apple Store and go and search for this app. It's called Carl's Mortgage Calculator. Kilo Alpha Romeo Lima. Carl. Kilo Alpha Romeo Lima. Carl's Mortgage Calculator. Go and search for it. It has a calculator as the icon. That Carl's Mortgage Calculator will tell you that if you buy a house for £100,000, £200,000, £300,000, any amount that you buy it, for the period of the 20 years, 25 years that you want to use to pay that house, 90% of it is going to go to interest. That means 90% of the period that you are paying. Before the money you are paying every month will go to capital that you are paying, right? The bank will collect their interest first. So what does that tell you? That tells you that you need to understand how to change the narrative so that you don't become the pawn in the system. You see, this thing is a game that you need to understand. If you are not the one playing the game, that means you are being played. So that's why you need to understand how to navigate this thing. Don't be pushed. Rather, understand that it's a marathon. And I'll start from childcare to healthcare to mortgage to career and retirement plan. They will round up for this presentation this night. For those who are married, we have different category of people again. People who have children that are younger, maybe below 10 years old. Some people have children that are teenagers already. Some have toddlers. Now, depending on the path that you use to come into this country, if you came by work, that means within 5 years you become a permanent resident. If you came via study, right, it means that the minimum time that you are going to use before you can get that permanent resident is about 6 to 7 years. If you come by maybe you went from study to post-study, right? That means the minimum number of years you use will be about 8 years. Because if you use 1 year for master's, 2 years post-study, then if you now get work permit, you need another 5 years again. Because post-study will not count towards your permanent residency. So if you look at it cumulatively, it's about 8 years. So it's better we have this thing in perspective so that we know where we're running. Now, if you have children that are below 10 and you fall in any of these categories, there is something called the Junior Individual Savings, which is the ISA, Junior ISA for the United Kingdom. It allows you to put money up to 9,000 within a tax year, right, for a child without paying tax on it. If you go to gov.uk, you'll have enough details on that. But why am I bringing this forward? So that you see, as a migrant, right, your own journey is different from the person who is born here. As a migrant, you need to understand that the time for you is shorter than somebody who has been in the system. So why am I bringing this forward? Most of us, they will ask you, why did you move? Why did you move to UK? It's because of my children, it's because of my children. But when they ask you, what are you doing towards these children? They say that we have free school, we have clinical. So what else again? But you are not deliberate about how to leverage the system. So this is my own recipe. You have children that are below 10. Let's even for context sake, let's say your child is 10-year-old. That means by that child is 18 years, right? The child will have spent 8 years in this system. If you want to settle that child for life, think of giving that child present of a house by the time that child is 18. But you start that journey now. How do you do that? If you go to Zoopla, most of us, when you wanted to get house, you went to Zoopla, you went to Rightmove, you went to all of them, right? To get rent and get your house. But have you ever considered the fact that on that same platform, there is a secret there? If you go to that platform there, wherever you are in UK now, go to that platform and put your city there. Put for sale. Search under for sale. And search for 1 bedroom to 2 bedroom, right? And click on the filter. Let it be lowest. You will see that wherever you are in the UK, as long as the house is 1 bedroom to 2 bedroom, there are 40K houses, there are 50K houses, there are 60K houses. Now, there are 3 categories of deposits that is available for a migrant. If you are below 3 years in the UK, they will tell you that you need to pay 25% as deposit. If you are up to 3 years in the UK, they will say that the minimum is 10%. If you have done 5 years, that means you have indefinite leave to remain or permanent residency. Then they will allow you to do 5%. So what this simply means is that, let's say you have a 10-year-old child and you want to give that child a house at the age of 18, right? You can do, let's even do a calculation. If you have downloaded the CALS calculator, if a house is 60K, and you are buying it for your child at 18, that child will be qualified for 5% at that time. Let's say you drop 10% of the value of the house. That's 6,000, right? It means that 6,000, if we do 6,000 over 8 years, let me show you plan. 6 divided by 8 is 750. Divided by 12, it comes to 62.50. That means if you have 62 pounds 50 as a couple, or as a father, or as a mother, and you decide to be putting it in this junior ISA, by the time that that child is 18, you can buy minimum 1-bedroom house for that child. And that child can decide that, okay, I want to live with daddy and mommy, or I want to rent that house out. But I tell you that is that's why I call this session marathons. That is how you can secure your child, because you are not on the same race with the person born here. You have to, like they say in the streets, take from the wisdom that God has given you and apply it in this system so that you understand what things are going. When we talk about healthcare, people say that, yes, NHS is providing and NHS is something. But I will tell you this. There are some things that the NHS may take time before if it happens, may it not happen. But most of the time, we usually say, may it not happen. I'm not saying bad thing will happen, but it's better you prepare just in case it happens. Do you understand what we're saying? Just in case. That is why you cannot afford to just live anyhow in this system. Life happens, right? If life were to happen to anybody today, do you have life insurance? On this call, how many people have life insurance that they are servicing every month? If something happened to a spouse, we do not say anything will happen, but if something happens, right, and you are the major provider, even 150,000 or 100,000 life insurance means that there will be a payout of 100,000 to your family. Have you considered it? Or something happened along the line. Somebody is 50-something years old and they now say something happened, critical illness. Do you have a cover? NHS will not cover you for that one. NHS will not cover you. Whereas this thing is not much. 30-something thousand, 36 pounds, 40 pounds, 25 pounds, whatever. It's usually in the range of between 25 to 40, right? Of whatever you are getting now. And you will secure that one. And you can do it for yourself and for every child that you have. Everything I'm telling you here, I have it. I'm also on NHS, but rarely do I use it. But what I'm trying to say is that they say that you have to be wise. You cannot afford to live life anyhow. It doesn't cost much. But one thing is that it is when things happen that people will start running everywhere. Oh, they are using GoFundMe, something, this one. Whereas if they have been doing what they're supposed to do, they will do it. Yeah? So it's not about going for seat, back for. No, it's about you being mindful of the journey that you are running here. It's a marathon. If something were to happen to your child today, if NHS cannot cover it, your insurance will release that money. 50K, they will give it to you, and you're already doing it. So these are things that we need to be mindful of. Now I'll quickly move to mortgage, right? Everybody is always shouting, we're not rally. We too have bought our own house, for those who don't hear Yoruba. But the question is this, to what end? If you have downloaded that CALS calculator. An average family is, what do they call it? Three bed. People want to buy house that makes sense now. So minimum house that makes sense in this country is about 200,000. Now, at the current mortgage rate is about between 4.5 to 6.5, depending on the circumstances that you are in, whether you are 5%, whether you are below 3 years, or permanent. Either way, let's look at 5.5, right? Now, if we look at 5.5 for a house that is 200,000, and you put down, let's say 10%, which is about 20K, your monthly mortgage is going to be about 1,238.2.0. 1,238 for a 3-bedroom. Now, when you now check that, when you check the breakdown of what you'll be paying, right? What you'll be paying, you will be paying 1,238.2 pounds per month for a period of 20 years, right? And by the end of the term, yeah, you will have paid 117,167 pounds towards interest. Somebody will say that, after all, my house will appreciate. I do not say the house will not appreciate, but that is not the way. I would rather advise you, right? If you have 200, if you have money that will pay deposit for 200, think of getting something that will service that. So, for example, you see a house that is 80K, you see a house that is 70K, you see a house that's 90K, you see a house that's 100K, right? The house can have maybe semi-detached. Maybe it has a loft or attic there. Maybe it has a very big sitting room that you can convert into sitting room and kitchen lobby. Yeah. Any house that you can see opportunity of modifying and increasing the value, I will say you would rather do that one. If you feel like getting house immediately for yourself, do that. When you do that, that will give you the chance to get something back because you have increased the value of the house. That's option one. Option two, get houses that are cheap, upgrade them, increase their value, make it available for rent or service accommodation. Do that for a period of 5 years and spin the money, roll the money. This forum is not for that, but I'm just giving us hints, small tips there. By the time you do that for a period of 5 years, I can tell you that you will have close to 3 to 5 houses of those categories. Then you can now make sure that the money they are getting from that is now going to be servicing your own personal mortgage. That way, you have relieved yourself of stress because others are paying for your own mortgage. Yeah. And for career is all about networking. People complain that, oh, where I am, I don't see people, I don't see something. Are you on LinkedIn? Have you optimized your LinkedIn profile? Okay, you are skilled in one area. That skill is not good enough. Have you taken time to understand what is needed within the space, within the environment? Can you upskill? LinkedIn Learning is there. Allison is there. Udemy is there. Coursera is there. There are so many free platforms that can help you to scale up and you upgrade yourself. See, if you say that, oh, I am 40-something-year-old now, I am old, go and ask Sir Sanders. How old was he when he started KFC? He was 65. So 3 years will come, you did not upskill, you did not increase your value, you will still remain the same. So in terms of career, it's about networking, it's about skilling up and shoot your shot. Ask questions. There are people who have done well. That area that you want to enter into, right? There are so many people. You can reach out to me. I can connect. I have networks that I can refer. Whenever information I have, I can, you go and do this one, go and do this one. There are many people like myself that will help you, right? And as we round up, let's move to the retirement plan. For those of us that are working in this place, on this platform, have you ever gone to check the retirement plan and see projects? They say that you can retire at 67 in this country. Eh? Have you checked how much they said they will be paying you at that age a month? It's not up to 1,000. Question. You are not living on 1,000 now. You now think that that time it will be easy for you to live at 1,000? It's a scheme, scam of a system. The best thing that can happen is for you to do this long-range marathon plan. Start seeing how you can be apportioning this thing. I know that you are doing shift. I know that you are working tooth and ache, but please take a break and strategize. Start putting things in place. You see where I was explaining building credit profile for us here. If you build your credit profile very well, right, you can build your profile to a level where a bank can release 15K to you. They can release 20K to you. They can release 25K to you. And you will be able to pay it without stress. However, that 25K can now be taken and used to do something that will contribute towards this retirement plan here. I understand that every migrant for the first 5 years, they are going to battle with, immigration fees, health surcharge, and everything. I know. But see, everything is strategy. How many of us budget here? When you get your money, do you budget? Or is it that you just let the money go anyhow? 25 pounds here, 50 pounds here for this one. It's okay. If you're going to go for Christmas, right, you can put some money away. Ask yourself, how much do you spend during Christmas? If you spend 500 pounds, that means you can put away 50 pounds every month. So by December, no stress, that money comes out. And this last one is what I want to tell us. Every city has a cooperative society. You can go to cooperative.gov.uk and check your own city. Where I am, there is a cooperative. And with cooperative, it's easier for you to have access to funds because they will give you ×2, just like they run in Nigeria. They'll give you ×2 what you have. So it's better you have money in cooperative than money in the bank. In the cooperative I am, if you get money for the first time, they will give you ×2, right? If you get it the second time, they will give you ×3. So you can imagine, but in bank just want to collect their own interest and everything. So it means that with small money, let's say you need about 6,000, right? If you have 3,000 in cooperative over 6 months period, it means that you can have access to 6K and use it wisely. So these are dynamics that are involved in this system called the United Kingdom. Friends, these are marathons, right? These are big deals. I want us to calm down and take stock and begin to appropriate this thing gradually, right? The cooperative link, I will share it with us before I finish. I will share it with us. Okay, so, and in the UK, there are several thousands of cooperatives in the UK, right? And we'll share it. So as I round up, I want to say this. If it is to be that you will achieve the goals, let me show you something here. If it is to be that you achieve the goals that you set to achieve from the first slide, it is up to you to take the lessons from this presentation and apply them. Thank you so much for joining this webinar. I hope that this has been helpful. I hope it has been insightful. I will entertain questions from everyone that wants to ask question now. I will drop the link to the cooperative. I can see that on the chat menu. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for that wonderful, insightful session, sir. So I'm going to be inviting people from the audience to ask their questions. If you have some questions, we are now in the Q&A section. If you have questions for Dr. Lewis, please either you indicate by raising up your hands or type your question in the comment section. I have the very first question here. And while we wait for the others to come in, I would read this out so Dr. Lewis can attend to it. He says, is it possible to get, oh, well, it's not really a question. Well, we would get back to everyone on the WhatsApp group, so the details of the recording. Yes. So do we have any more questions? The link to the UK cooperative has been shared on the chat group.
Please, somebody wants to join the WhatsApp group. Maybe you can. Okay,
yes. So I'm
Drop
going to also put the link for new members to register and join, and then you will be added to the WhatsApp group. So please don't panic. You'll be added to the WhatsApp group. Thank you very much. Any other person with any question? Dr. Louise is available now to answer your question. Or we have people who have maybe they have experiences they want to share, or they have something they want to talk about in relation to what Dr. Louise has said that would also help other people. Okay, someone here says, can one open a junior ISA for children below or above 10 years?
Yes, you can open as long as they are below 18.
Okay. So does that mean once they are above 18, you can no longer open for them?
So 18 is considered as an adult in the UK. So anybody below 18 is not an adult. So that's why it is junior ISA. So, but the beauty of anybody who is 18 is that that person, if that person has a financial insight that we are sharing today, that person can set himself or herself up early in life. Because at 18, don't jump out quickly. That's another thing I want to quickly share with us, people who are on this call. If you're a migrant, right? Let the children who are second generation leverage on the shoulders of their parents, right? To build wealth, to build capacity. And how do they do that? An average child in the UK is between 18 to 22, we go to university. But during that period, if that child is within the city that you are in, right? Let that child live in the home. If that child is working, encourage that child to begin to put a major chunk of what he or she is learning outside. Earning. Like, let's say, for example, a child is 18 and is earning about maybe 1,000 in a month. The child is eating your free food, is having free house, having free energy. Let that child keep majority of that 1,000. By the time that child ends for 2 years, that child can buy their first house. And so once a child is 18, 20, buys a house, I can guarantee you that child is sorted. And if you use the system that we have explained in this call, before the child is 25, right, he will have had about 5. And once you have 5, it means that one house can be servicing the car he's using, another one can be servicing his travels, another one can service what. So it will be settled. So that child should not think of, oh, I'm now earning, I want to go and buy one big phone, I want to go and buy one, I want to go and buy a car. It is Joneses. So we need to we need to understand how this thing works and be wise about it.
What's that? We have a next question here. Someone says, I want to ask about saving for children's university education.
Very good. Now, I told you that there are, even for people who are married, who have children in this country, there are a couple of categories. If your child, like for example, if I use my own case, for example, coming into the UK in 2020, our first child crossed the 18 mark this year. So it means that as at the time he crossed that 18, he was qualified as a home student. Because once you have lived as a legit in the country for over 3 years, you'll be qualified as a home student. So what that means is that you have home fees. So rather than, like, for example, some people come into the country and their child is already close to 18. So by the time the child is 18 and is going to university, he will still be classified as an international student because that child has not spent 3 years minimum in the country. So if you want to save, I want to know whether that child is a teenager or that child is below 10. So if that child is below 10, it means that you can start saving towards living expenses and possibly school fees, depending on where you are in the United Kingdom. Because United Kingdom, there are different school fee rates for home fees for different parts. The rate of Scotland is different from the rate of England. So it depends on your peculiar circumstance where you are. That's why I said that it's important that we understand where we are. Like in England, I know it's about 9,000 for home fees. International fees go to 18,000, like that. And there are what do you call it? Grants and loans that home students have access to. So you can either decide that your child will go with loan, or your child, you save towards it, or you also go the path of uh, real estate, so that whatever that child will be needing as living expenses will be from the rent that they're getting monthly. So it's about marathon planning. There are different dynamics to this thing. I hope that makes sense to the person who has a question. Um, Somebody says, are you advising that instead of buying house for ourselves now, we should plan for our children? There are two ways to it for Olasimbo. Let me answer this question this way. You may be paying rent of 1,000, 1,200, 1,005 now. If you look at where you are, check your type of house and how much that house is. Your type of house, go to Zoopla or wherever it is. Check for your type of house. How much is that house? Go to Carl's mortgage calculator that I shared with us and check how much will be the mortgage on that house. When you check what you are paying as rent and how much Carl's mortgage calculator shows you as a mortgage you'll be paying on that house, that will tell you the difference between the mortgage and your rent. If it's not much, right, I will say that you consider, if the margin is much, then maybe you should buy and upgrade the house for yourself. If it's not much, I would rather advise that the small money you have, right, go and use it to get a house that is not expensive. Jump on the ladder of real estate and somebody will start paying rent for you. But make sure you upgrade that house. How? If you buy house at maybe 60K now and you upgrade the house, let's say the house becomes, because usually they give you about 6 months before you can do that. If you do it and it becomes maybe 80K because you added value to it, they call something loan to value. Loan to value in the United Kingdom. Loan to value means that the value that the bank will give you relative to the value of the house. So let's say the house is now 80,000, right? What that implies is that the bank will give you 72,000 as loan to value, which is the rate, let's say it's about 90%. If it's 75%, that means you dropped 25% as the deposit. I hope we're following here. You drop 25% deposit. Bank can give you 60K. So if bank gives you 60K and you bought the house at, let's say, maybe 50K, that 60K, you use it to pay the 50K that you used to buy the house. Anything that you spent on upgrade can also be taken from the remaining 10,000. And at that moment, the house is now free because you have paid the cost of buying and the cost of upgrade. So the house will now have a new mortgage value, let's say about 412 pounds. If you now put that house out for rent, it might be 800, it might be 900. At that moment, you are now getting something from the little that you have. I hope that analysis helps someone here. So if the margin between the house that you are living, the area that you are living, what the mortgage says, and what your rent is paying, if it's not much, whatever money you have, I will say you should go and use it to get a house that is not expensive and make it commercial property for yourself. Thank you very much. I hope that is clear to Olasimbo Ageno.
We have another question here. It says, can we
open the junior ISA at any bank? Yes, most banks have it.
The next one,
have it.
we need to pay £1 before we can register to become a cooperative member.
Do we need to pay? Where's the question? Do we need to pay £1 before we can register to become a cooperative member? It depends on the cooperative. Like, for example, the cooperative that I register with in Dundee here is called Discovery Union. So what I did was I filled their form. They have an online something. I filled their form. They gave me their details, and they told me that anytime I'm ready to start committing to anything, I can start committing. So I opened about 2 accounts there. One that I want to be using for Christmas savings and one that I want to be using for savings. Because the very first year that I came into this country, I saw that in December, I did not have enough to say that I want to do Christmas for my family. So and God gave me this inspiration that how much are you spending for Christmas? And I got the value. And it dawned on me that I said, if this is value you are spending, divide it by 12 and be removing that from your money every month. That will be easier for you. And that was the wisdom that saved me. So the following year, I did not struggle with Christmas because I've been putting aside judiciously, and it is standing order. I set up standing order. When immediately money enters the account, it just goes into that one. I don't have anything to do with that money. So by Christmas, I'll just send, by November, I'll send a mail to my cooperative. Please, I want to withdraw my Christmas savings. And they will withdraw it, no stress. Do you understand? This is like strategy. Yeah. For somebody who knows that, okay, I'm going to have to pay for indefinite leave in 2 years or in 3 years' time. It's not when it is the year that you want to get indefinite, that you now be running a task that you want to raise money for indefinite, or you have immigration fees to pay. You are going to pay for extra charge or things like that. You should calculate it now and know how much you need. Then start strategizing and map it out. You don't wait so that you don't put yourself under stress. And that is how you live with peace of mind, with no stress. You just spread it. If you join a cooperative, you feel like you need 8,000. So what you are trying to target is to raise 4,000. So how do you raise 4,000 between yourself and your wife? So you start putting that money aside every month. Okay, maybe 2 years or 3 years. This is how much you can. Just divide the 4,000 over 3 years, 36 months. This is how much it's going to be in a month. And that is it. That way, your 4,000 will be complete. By that time, you'll be able to get the 8K. No stress. This is how you can navigate the system without headache. I hope that makes sense.
It sure does. There is another question. It says, how can we add value to the house? I guess
that one is a 10 unit course. Now is the time because if you start this one here today, we'll not leave here. Let's discuss about that one. Maybe another webinar, right? But in short, let me just what it means is that, right? Anytime go to YouTube, right? This is what I'll tell Aderoju Adetono. Go to YouTube, right? YouTube and say that how do you add value to a house in order to refinance it? Type that into YouTube. Or how do you refurbish a house in order to get more value from it? Anything along that line, you will see several things it will show you. So that's that one. Please, is money box a legit way to ISA? I don't know money box. What I will just tell us is this. Yeah, there are so many companies, so many adverts that they will be bringing to you on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. Friends, the high streets are still the surest. So that's what I would recommend to anybody. If you want to do anything, be mindful of those online ones. The ones, if for example, Monzo is doing ISA, you can go because Monzo is a very good has established itself as a very good bank. I'm not advertising them here. It's because I use them. That's what I'm saying. So you can also use any of these high street, RBS, Barclays, HSBC, Lloyds. All of them have products, right? RBS has a product for children. All of them have products. So just think of that. What is the interest rate of cooperative when you collect money from them? So cooperative they are different rates. The higher the money that one wants to get, the lower the rate. The slower the money wants to get, the higher the rate. That's how this thing works. Do you understand? So the rate are usually lower than what they will give you in the bank. But when the money you're getting is high, the interest reduces. So, all of them have different rates. They don't have a common rate across board. It's all about the market dynamics. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I'm a missionary. My family is still in Nigeria. Any counsel on how to trade, sir? Okay. So if you are a missionary and your family is still in Nigeria, with a missionary visa, your visa should cover your family. However, the question is, what is the size of your family? Minister of Religion visa, skilled worker visa, everybody will pay health surcharge. Unfortunately, health surcharge is astronomical now. It's £1,035 per person per year. So it's very, very massive. You can imagine having a family of 5. That means you're going to pay 1,035 times 5 times the number of years that you are going to get. So it's all about the money now. It's all about the money. So what I would recommend, yeah, is this. If your family is still in Nigeria and you are the only one here, then you have one advantage. The advantage is that you don't have the pressure of getting a house. You can still do room sharing since you are the only one here. So with room sharing, if you are being paid as a missionary, right? Because I don't know the structure, it means that you have the opportunity of putting some money aside. If you follow the model that we have discussed here today, it's possible for you to put money aside in a cooperative for a period of 1 year, right? And build enough capital that can help you to have double of it, which can fund the movement of your family. It's all about planning, okay? And looking at your situation. There is no point somebody who is single, as in not single, single, but single who is married, but the only person, yeah, that person going to get a house and be paying council tax, paying all those things. It's better you go and find a house that they say bills inclusive, one room, so that you can put money aside and begin to save. That's my recommendation for that. Any other question?
Thank you very much, sir. I think there's a question here. It says Discovery Union. I don't know if that is an app or a platform, but it says
Yeah, Discovery Union has a website.
Yeah, it says
They have
I
just
pay £7.50 before I can register.
let me check it because I don't think I had that, except they've just updated their platform. Hold on. I want to go to their website. Just a moment. So, because they have an app, just a moment. I'm on their website now. Just a moment. Let me get. Uh, okay, I've seen it. So for Discovery Union, that money is just like small admin fee. They say it covers joining fee of £2.50, initial deposit of £5, just to show that somebody is serious. Because like when I wanted to do for myself, I did for myself, did for my wife also did. We did for our children. They should open cooperative. So we are encouraging a culture of savings from that age, that whatever you are earning, be putting money aside. So that is part of the things that we are talking about. So yes, sir. Please go ahead and do it. It will help you. You'll see the £5 will still be there, but the £2 will be the joining fee for Reverend. I can see Reverend Oladipo. Go ahead and do it. It's just so after that you can now be adding things. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's all about the questions. Thank you so much, Dr. Lewis. Thank you for honoring Sov UK. Thank you for coming this evening to give this insightful talk. We really appreciate this. I know that this session has really opened a lot of people's eyes, and it has really motivated people to reconsider things, reconsider their living and their existence in the UK, and also plan for the future so that they
Okay,
can
somebody
come
is
out.
raising hand. Okay,
Okay.
before I take that hand, somebody is asking a question that is it good to establish child minding business? Now, let me answer that question by saying that every business that is going to be started in this country is regulated. So the first thing is to know whether you have the qualification to do child minding, right? Go and check social work, things like that, and see whether you have the qualification. If there is a qualification, go and get it. When you get that qualification, it means that you have proven to the system that you have the requisite skills and the certification to offer that service. Now, any business is to identify who are the heads that business is going to service in that area. So you want to think of who are going to be your clients. Do you have the right clients within that space? Yeah. Do you have the facility to do it? Yeah. Are you going to rent a house to be doing it, or you're going to do it in your own apartment? They have all these things. Like somebody who wants to start a food business now, you don't need to get a house or get a shop before you can start food business. You can actually make your kitchen to be top notch and go to the council that they should send their health professionals to come and examine and assess your kitchen. They can tell you that your kitchen needs to do this, you do this, do this. Now do those ones. Once you do that, then you can now register on things like Uber Eats, Just Eat, and everything, and put your menu there. So you don't need to have shop yet. So your shop will be those Just Eat, and your cooking area will be your kitchen. When your clientele now increase, you now think that, okay, let me take this thing to the store. The same thing for this person that wants to do child minding. So if you have a place, maybe you have a 4-bedroom or 3-bedroom house, and you feel that, okay, that can be a room that can be dedicated. Maybe the council, you say that, okay, you need to modify this place, beautify it, put this kind of beds here, all those things. Yeah. So once you do that, and they feel that it's safe, because they have high this thing for people. So that's it. Thank you very much. So Fadura
Yeah,
B.
Abby. Yeah.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. My aunt came to the UK in November 2023, on a 6-month visiting visa to visit her daughter.
6 months,
She
2023.
yes, 2023. So she went
Okay.
back to Nigeria in April 2024.
Mm-hmm.
So she has 2 daughters here. Her
Mm-hmm.
second daughter then invited her again. So they
Mm-hmm.
applied for another 6-month visa,
Mm-hmm.
which became active on the 3rd of June to
Mm-hmm.
expire on the 3rd of December 2024.
Mm-hmm.
But when she came into the UK,
Yeah.
the I think the border force person that cleared her in
Mm-hmm.
now said that she just left in April, so she has just 1 month to spend in the UK on this new 6-month visa. So we have called the Home Office. Home Office said they don't know what the person is talking about, that there is no law or rule like that.
There's no law like that.
Yeah, but he wrote 1 month on her passport. So at this point, she's scared. She doesn't want to be banned. She wants to go back, but the visa is still valid. So I don't know if there's any rule like that, if you've heard of
There
any.
is no rule like that. The rule says at any time T, you must not spend more than 180 days on the visiting visa. So,
Yes, sir.
because, for example, my mom do come to UK 6 months, go 6 months, come, right? And I don't know why that person is saying that. Is it where was the point of entry? Is it London?
Heathrow, yes.
Usually they are the one that usually do over Sabi.
The first time she came, it was Manchester because her younger daughter lives around there. So this
Uh,
time around, the older daughter lives around Kent. So she came in
yeah.
through Heathrow. So it was at Heathrow she was told.
So Heathrow usually do over Sabi at times, and sometimes it's good for somebody to know their right, because the law is clear now. We can even show us here
We,
straight away.
we
It's the
checked it.
law.
We checked it, and there's nothing like that on
That's
GovDoc.
what I'm saying. The law is clear. There is nothing like that, sincerely speaking. It is clear on the gov.uk website. So what I would say is this, right? What I would say is this. There is a number that you can call gov.uk. They will charge you if you call them anyway. They usually ask for a credit card. When you're going to call that number, they will charge you, and you must be ready to stay on that line for close to 1 hour or 2 hours. Sometimes they won't answer until 1 hour plus before. So that's what I'll advise. There is this number that you can call them if you're in UK.
I've called already, sir.
And what did they say?
They said they don't know what the person is talking about.
It's not true. So this is what I think. Where are they now? Is the person still in London?
Yeah, she's still here.
If it's in London, I will say that possibly they seek audience with the head of the team in the Heathrow Airport, not as if you are traveling. No. You go to the head of the immigration division, that you call the Home Office, and the Home Office says this is what is happening. They can call the Home Office too, while the person is there, and vet it.
Okay, sir.
That this is what is happening. So there is an office, there is a back end. It's not the one that somebody will go through when you are traveling. but there is a back end that you go to and you tell them that you want to see the head, that this is the situation of things. And they can also call the home office also themselves, because they do call home office to confirm all these things.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right. Yes.
All right.
I think that's all the questions for right now. Somebody is suggesting, so we have Mr. Otemulu suggesting in the comment section that we should write to the home office and get them to respond to you, so that you will have that as an evidence.
Okay, yeah. That's another very good one. Thanks, James. That's a good one. But if you're going to write to home office, use what do they call this thing now? Signed for. Make sure it is signed for. Don't just post a first class email. Make sure it is the one that they sign for it. And send it. Is that okay? So that somebody actually signed for that letter and it got to where it is going.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Email, it depends on who you are sending to. That's a problem. Because they are not as nice as that. Oh.
I think the letter that is signed forward to stop
James, they are not as
yes, sir. Okay, so we do not take too much time for everybody. We have just a few announcements.
sign for is better. It's just a token.
I think
so if somebody was asking a question about, is there any specific to join? So because UK is very big, if you go to the website I shared, that .uk, right? If you go to that place, you see that there are so many. You will need to search using the filter of your city and see the one that is close to you. You will see their website, see all those things there, and start. So it's the same way that we did when we got to this place. We searched and we saw this one, felt like this one was resonate with what we wanted. So it's about sitting down and looking at the one in your city and now narrow down to the things that you can, to the one that you can sign up for. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much for
A pleasure. I hope this has been helpful for everyone.
Thank you very much, sir. So on that note, I would like to welcome new members. This is School of Virtue, United Kingdom. We appreciate you for joining us this evening. We hope you found this session impactful. And we have posted I just posted the link to registration as new members into the comment section. So please feel free to click on it, register, and then we would add you to the WhatsApp group. There is also the contact details of the Sov UK. So you have the email address and then the phone number. The phone number is available on phone call and well on WhatsApp. Yeah, so I'll just be introducing the School of Virtue UK briefly. So the School of Virtue United Kingdom, yes, we're affiliated to School of Virtue Global. It's a faith-based non-for-profit organization, and we were registered in the United Kingdom. The mission is to foster a godly community that's well-rounded and equipped to navigate various aspects of life with wisdom and virtue. I'm sure you agree with me that
your volume is low.
Can you hear me?
Okay, it's better now.
Okay, thank you very much, Carol. It's pretty late. So, through our programs and events, we hope to provide valuable insights and support to help individuals at different stages of their lives to thrive in their personal and professional lives. And through this same initiative, we hope to bring all persons of color into more intimacy with Christ, even as we take this United Kingdom for Christ. So thank you so much. We have team leads. We have our team lead here. Mrs. Apology Adelinka. Because of time, she might not be able to give us any address this night, maybe on the next occasion. We also have Mr. James Otemolu and myself. We are also on the WhatsApp group, and you can always contact us through the SOB line or to our personal contacts on WhatsApp. So we're open to donations and to partnership and support. We have the SOB account on the comment section as well. So then we've got a few announcements. So to begin with, I would like to say that there are programs we've lined up for the subsequent months, the months following from July. So we have some type of surprise for you for the next bank holiday. We'll keep that still cooking. We wouldn't want to let the cat out of the bag. So please plan to join us every month as we'll be rolling out these events and these programs for everyone's good and for everyone's personal benefit. Also, feel free to suggest ideas of topics, things you seek clarification on, and challenges you have that you would want us to probably develop topics around. We'll also be having interactive sessions, and we hope to also have extended prayer meetings so that we're able to cover all aspects of life. So we are not just here to intercede on behalf of the United Kingdom. We're not just here to, again, we are here to take the land and to do well in the land by positioning ourselves rightly. Yes. So thank you so much for that. Again, on that note, I would like to implore us to volunteer, come out and volunteer for monthly daily prayers. The prayers is just 10 minutes, 9 to 9:10 p.m. every night. So we have the monthly polls. Set your alarm for 8:59 and plan to join us. The numbers is discouraging compared to the total number of people we have on the WhatsApp group. Just set your alarm for 8:59 and you can always join us. Then also plan to lead prayers at whatever days of the week that are most suitable for you. A strategy I use is to stick with a particular day in the week. So once the poll is out, I just go ahead to the poll and select all those days for that month. So I know that every week I'm praying on Thursdays. So you can also follow that strategy. If it works, we know that some people might not be chanced because of work, but just do some little things for you to create that structure around it so that we can keep participating in what we are. Yes, and the last but not the least, we have the SOB dry fasting. Dry fast is just for 3 days and it's happening next month in July. More details about that will follow shortly and we'll see exactly what that is. I think that's right about now. Thank you so much for giving us almost 2 hours of your time. We hope you found this helpful. We hope it was not a waste of your time, and we hope you'll be able to join us next month. And once again, we're saying thank you to Dr. Louis. Thank you so much. So everyone can unmute their mics and feel free to say hello and say something. Yes, sir. Dr. Louis, you want to say something?
So something just came to my mind. Some of the things I've been wondering about just before the roundup. I can see that we have about 34 people left on the call, so that will be 32 minus me and yourself.
Okay, sir.
You see, there is power in community, there is power in unity, right? I believe that for everyone on this call, if you are interested, you can reach out to the SOV UK link that is on this platform. And what am I suggesting? What I'm suggesting is having a fractional ownership of investment in this country. Fractional ownership of investment in this country. We have to be strategic. We have to be deliberate. So think of it this way, that let's say, for example, there is a property that is 100,000, and you want to buy it as commercial. The commercial will be, you pay 25,000 as a commercial value of the property. With that commercial value, you can get the remaining 75% from the bank. Now, that 25 can be raised by 25 people who drop 1K. Or you can decide to even buy it out completely by saying, okay, that 100K, whatever you have, let's buy it out completely. That does one thing for the group. It positions us to start with one property and have it 100% holding, increase the value, and get the money back almost immediately. But what that will do for us is that with that, you will now know that each person that has the fractional equity in it has kind of dividend there. But what it will have done is that it gives everyone involved a leapfrog to say that we have something that we can call our own and we can replicate that, and that thing can keep going like that. That's just food for thought for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Yes. So thank you everyone for coming. Please unmute your mic. Let's see your videos. Let's see your beautiful faces.
Let's see our faces. Let's see the faces.
Yes.
Thank you so
Everybody,
much, Dr. Lewis.
shine your teeth. Yes, so I can see my brother and friend, Dr. Books.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,